911, what's your emergency? The dispatcher's voice was calm, practiced. I'm scared, a tiny voice whispered back, barely audible. Please help me. Hello? Can you tell me your address? The dispatcher strained to hear. The fear in the child's voice was palpable. Ashwood Drive. Number. Shapusi in Aishui Cedars. Tontuai. No, I'm scared. The line went dead. Officer Daniel Thompson gripped the steering wheel. Ashwood Drive. A quiet street. Or so he thought. The dispatcher's voice echoed in his mind. Possible child abduction in progress. His heart pounded. He pushed the patrol car faster, sirens screaming, tearing through the quiet evening. He reached Ashwood Drive. Rows of houses, eerily similar, lined the street. Which one? The dispatcher hadn't been able to trace the call. Time was slipping away. He could feel it in his gut. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. Daniel jumped out of his car, his hand instinctively reaching for his holster. He tried one house, then another. No answer. Just an unsettling silence. Where was everyone? Where was the girl? The third house was different. The front door hung open, slightly ajar. He cautiously approached, his hand hovering over his gun. Hello? Police? His voice echoed in the silence. He stepped inside. The air inside was thick with a strange stillness. Shadows danced on the walls, cast by the faint moonlight, filtering through the curtains. He noticed strange symbols etched into the dust-covered furniture. They seemed ancient, otherworldly. His pulse quickened. What had he walked into? He moved through the house, each creaking step amplifying the silence. Toys lay scattered on the floor, frozen in time. A half-eaten meal sat on the table. It was as if the occupants had vanished into thin air. He reached a room at the end of the hallway. The door was slightly ajar, a sliver of light escaping from within. He could hear soft whimpering coming from inside. He drew his gun and pushed the door open slowly. The room was a child's bedroom. Drawings covered the walls, a kaleidoscope of color and innocence. But the atmosphere was heavy, oppressive. The whimpering grew louder. He saw her, huddled in the corner, clutching a teddy bear. A little girl, her eyes wide with terror. "It's okay," Daniel said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'm here to help you." He approached her slowly, his hands outstretched, showing he meant no harm. The girl flinched, her eyes darting around the room as if expecting something to jump out from the shadows. He knelt down in front of her, meeting her gaze. "What's your name, sweetheart?" he asked gently. "Harper," she whispered back, her voice trembling. "Harper," he repeated, letting the name wash over him. "It's going to be okay now. I'm Officer Daniel. I'm going to take you somewhere safe." He scooped her up in his arms. She felt light as a feather. He carried her out of the house, away from the eerie silence and the strange symbols. As he walked, he could feel her tiny arms tightening around his neck, clinging to him as if he were her only lifeline. Outside, the night air was filled with the sound of approaching sirens. Backup had arrived. He had found her. Relief washed over him, a wave of emotion so strong it almost brought him to his knees. He had faced the darkness and brought her back into the light.